Hi, I'm Shaggy. I'm Phil Alitea, and I should be generating more dialogue, more dialectic. The only way to do that is to ask questions, and so the kind of questions that I have to ask are rhetorical, but really they're more teaching moment questions. They're the kind of questions that you won't have heard anyone ask you before, so you won't have prepared answers. And so I understand that I'm casting this into the future and that I don't really expect you to answer in the now. But if you were subscribed to the Patreon, or you found me on Twitter, or you were willing to put in the effort to create a Discord, we could do it at your leisure in those ways. Now, if you paid me a significant amount of money, I'd give you access to my telephone number, but that requires more vetting than this series of questions can provide rather. So today's dialectic question, today's question that I have for you is, how often do you think scientifically? Did you know that there are lots of ways that you could think? I'm sure you've heard the idiom, the myriad ways to skin a cat. Well, there are an almost infinitude of ways to solve a problem. For example, they say two lefts don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right, right? Well, two lefts don't make a right turn, but three of them do. Any problem can also always be course-corrected toward a solution. This is why naval combat was such a big deal among thinkers in the pre-modern world, because any problem can be course-corrected a solution toward. Any problem. Like my most recent ex she just never would stop talking about the guys that found the Arctic and explored the Arctic. And so how often do you think about the things that you think about and applying them to your day-to-day life? Because one of the things that just grew infinitely tedious and boring about her was that she would never apply the things that she was interested in to her actual lived experience. Like, tenacity is something for other people, which is very interesting because you want me to live like happiness is for other people. And so I wonder how often you think scientifically. I think you might think you think scientifically, but let's be very clear in our terms before you try to answer the question, because that's the first place you need to go when you approach solving any problem, is being very clear in the terms. That's how you get into all these loans that you don't want to be in. This is how you find yourself in subscriptions that you don't want to be in. And that does mean also to internet personalities. Like, oh, that guy wasn't who I thought he was. Well, it starts at asking questions. And so what we think science is presenting a hypothesis, presenting a theory. But that's not science. That's the process of presenting a hypothesis or a theory. And theorizing is narratology, and narratology is storytelling. And science isn't a narrative. Science isn't a story. This is what Christians and so many people get wrong, is they think that science has explanatory power. Science doesn't have explanatory power. Science is a problem-solving method. So what science is having presented a hypothesis or a theory, or having had one presented to you, science is going about falsifying the theory or the hypothesis. This is where Chinese scientists get this wrong all the time, and Russian scientists get this wrong all the time. How often do you think about falsification?